Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, please take over the call now.
Amma, what is the sloka number?
Which one, Prabhuji?
Amma, what is the sloka number?
2020. We did 19 last Saturday.
Okay. Okay. Actually, we completed 20. We'll do 21 and 22.
Okay, Prabhuji.
I'm just looking into the sloka. So very important sloka actually. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sloka 21 and 22, they both are together. Arjuna Vacha Senayorvayormadhya Radam Stapitum Achyuta Yavadetan Niriksheham Yodu Kamannavastitan Kermaya Sayayodavyam Asmin Rana Samudyame. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace, Yeshi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Arjuna said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trail of arms. Purport. Although Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, out of his causeless mercy, he was engaged in the service of his friend. He never fails in his affection for his devotees. I repeat this. He never fails in his affection for his devotees. And thus, he is addressed herein as infallible. A charioteer, he had to carry out the orders of Arjuna, and since he did not hesitate to do so, he is addressed as infallible. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rishikesha, the Lord of total senses. The relationship between the Lord and his servitor is very sweet and transcendental. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord. And simply, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. The servitor is always ready to render service to the Lord, and similarly, the Lord is always seeking an opportunity to render some service to the devotee. He takes great pleasure in his pure devotees, assuming the advantageous position of ordering him than he does in being the giver of orders. Since he is master, everyone is under his order. No one is above him to order him. But when he finds that a pure devotee is ordering him, he obtains transcendental pleasure. Although he is the infallible master in all circumstances. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna had no desire to fight with his cousins and brothers, but he was forced to come onto the battlefield by obstinacy of Duryodhana, who was never agreeable to any peaceful negotiation. Therefore, he was anxious to see who the leading persons present on the battlefield were. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again, to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Therefore, he was very anxious to see who is the leading person on the battlefield. Although there was no question of peacemaking endeavor on the battlefield, he wanted to see them again and to see how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuranminitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupaka Dhamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Deham Shri Gurum Shri Uda Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijanasahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha Ve Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Vangam Langayate Giram Yatkripatam Bande Shri Gurundina Tarinam. Hare Krishna. 1 second. Hare Krishna. So here, it's a beautiful situation, which is very close to what's happening in our day-to-day life. Senayor Ubayor Madhya Radham Sthapitum Achyuta. Arjuna is telling Krishna that, my dear Lord, not my dear Lord, my dear friend. Because for Arjuna, he knows Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But at this very moment, Krishna is his friend. Now, how that is transcending in the heart of Arjuna. Now, how at one instance Krishna is Supreme Lord, at the other instance Krishna is his friend, that is another discussion. But at this point, to Arjuna, Krishna is friend. Now, how he becomes the Supreme Lord, that is next discussion. But as of now, Krishna is his friend. Now he is actually telling Krishna that, you please take me to the center of this battlefield, because I want to see either sides. I want to see what's happening. I really want to know who are there. Now Krishna takes Arjuna, and then that happens next. Then he would see Bhishma Drona Pramukata, which comes later. But at this moment, Krishna is following the instruction of Arjuna. For example, we go to the Lord and then we pray, my dear Lord, today is the most auspicious day. I want to do this in my life. I want to really become Krishna conscious. I really want to become a devotee. I'm not a devotee. I'm aspiring to become a devotee. Please, my dear Lord, please help. If you go to the Lord with this prayer, just like Arjuna, he also requested Krishna, my dear Lord, please take me to the center of this battlefield, which Krishna did. Right? When we do this prayer to the Lord, that I really want to become a devotee, then Krishna will give some situations in our life to become a devotee. We shouldn't be in a state of anxiety that why Krishna you have given me this situation. Rather than we should be in that state. Krishna, thank you for giving me this. Thank you for giving me this situation because thank you, my Lord, for remembering, for reminding, for reciprocating to the prayers. Now, prayer reciprocation means it doesn't always mean that it will always come in a positive side. The prayer reciprocation can also come in the negative side. But to a devotee who is really aspiring, there is no negative and positive in his life because he is free from dualities. Okay, that is one thing. Now, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, my dear Lord, please take me to the center. Now, Krishna did, but Krishna took Arjuna to a particular position. And through this position, Arjuna is actually seeing Krishna. Arjuna is actually seeing on the other side. Then Krishna took at the right place so that he can see Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya. Because they are his weak point. Everyone has weak point, weakness. Everyone through attachment, we become weak. That doesn't mean that we don't attach. We attach through the attachment of Krishna. That doesn't mean that, oh, I'll give up my family, I'll give up this, I do not have attachment. Nobody will do that. That is impersonalism because there's no person. But when the attachment is there towards them through Krishna, through the words of the spiritual master, my spiritual master he told me to do this. That's why I'm doing this. For this, one would require a deep relationship, which Arjuna has with Krishna, because it is only through that relationship, it's a friendship relationship with the Lord. Now, through that friendship, Arjuna is requesting Krishna, please take me to the center, which Krishna did. But Krishna took to that, for example, for just say, Krishna has kept the chariot in front of Duryodhana. Things would have been different. But Krishna kept the chariot in front of Bhishma Dev and Dronacharya. Very important, dear devotees. Krishna will keep us in certain situation for our advancement in Krishna consciousness. For example, if there is difficulty, that is for our advancement. If we have that vision, for Arjuna now it is a difficulty. Because if I'll read this line. Very, very important. Please hear this. Although he had accepted the position of a charioteer for his devotee, his supreme position was not challenged. This is the supremacy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is a fountainhead of all the super souls, of the super soul. The super soul is sitting in the heart as Paramatma. Now, Srila Prabhupada says Krishna is a fountainhead of the super soul. That means through Krishna, super soul got manifested and then is sitting in our heart. Shirodaka Sai Vishnu. So now, Krishna has forgotten Krishna, for the pleasure of his devotee, is doing something which is actually, see, chariot riding the chariot is what? It's a low service. In the material world, how do we see something? For example, if a CEO is coming and then cleaning up the bathrooms, the CEO is coming and then doing some other menial work. No, everyone will see it in a different way. Now the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Maya Dakshara Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam Hetunanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartate, who is the source of all the sources, who is the root for everything. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is becoming a charioteer. Through his action, dear devotees, his position is not changed. That means Srila Prabhupada is explaining us clearly that he's aloof. He's not part of this world. He's there in this world, but he's not uh, impacted through that position or through that place. He's not impacted. We see through the life of Srila Prabhupada also. We see through the life of Srila Prabhupada that Srila Prabhupada went to Bauri. I don't know how many of you been to Bauri, New York City. I think most of the devotees went there. So it is a difficult place. It's not clean, it's not neat. The people are different. Just imagine, even now, it is different. What to speak of when Srila Prabhupada came? Completely different. It would have been a mess, materialistic phantasmagoria. It would have been a big mess. But Srila Prabhupada was not impacted by that. He was there, but he was not there. Here, Krishna is not impacted. He became a charioteer. That's what Srila Prabhupada says. No, Krishna is not impacted through this change. It's very important, dear devotees. It's all in the consciousness. When Krishna says, I am Supreme Personality of Godhead, you just follow my instructions. And when Srila Prabhupada says, when Krishna says, Sarvadharman Pratyaja Mamekam Sharanam Vaja, and when Srila Prabhupada says, also says, Sarvadharman Pratyaja Mamekam Sharanam Vaja, and then he says, Krishna says, surrender to me, and then Prabhupada says, surrender to Krishna. What's the difference? No difference. Now, what is this? Guru Parampara. Now, Arjuna, he conveys this message to Krishna, and then now this is the point, this is a turning point in Arjuna's life now. At this particular moment, this is a turning point where he actually takes this situation seriously to his heart and then begins reciprocating, stating that I will not fight. See, he says that I will not fight. For what? Not fight means what? Going away from his dharma. Well, what is a Kshatriya? Kshatriya means to fight. But what is he saying? I will not fight. Dear devotees, please think about this very closely, very close to the heart. Here Arjuna wanted to give up his duty, which is completely against of what Krishna is telling him. Krishna is asking him to do something, but Arjuna wants to do something else. Because now why Arjuna came to the battlefield? Because it is through the inspiration of Krishna, it is through his motivation, it is through his association. Because Arjuna was not in a position to do that before also. But Krishna inspired him, and then through that inspiration he came. But now Arjuna, after seeing that problem of Bhishmadev and Dronacharya, then again he goes back. Now this actually, the situation which Arjuna is facing, Prabhupada explains that later very clearly, that Arjuna is not in the original state of consciousness. That is the reason of these deviations. So, dear devotees, this state is applicable to us. This doesn't mean that, oh, this happened 5,000 years ago. Oh, Arjuna has seen Bhishmadev, Arjuna has seen Dronacharya. No, that's why He doesn't want to fight because he has an attachment. Oh, okay, that's what I learn, and then I go home. No, 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 no. This is applicable to us. Now, how is this applicable to us? Dear devotees, when we are honest to our heart, we will know how this is applicable to us. One thing I'll tell, very practical and very important thing. For example, now a mother is pregnant. She's very happy. She goes into her third month, fourth month. Finally, the time has come. Oh, doctor says this is your due date. You should come on this date. And then she goes to the hospital and then she gives birth to a baby boy. Okay. Now that baby boy he just came. Today is his birthday. He came to this material to this world where he has family, father, mother, grandfather, grandmother, grandfather from father's side, grandfathers and grandmothers from mother's side. Oh, so many people, uncles, aunts, so many. They're all there. Mm, they're all there. They're so happy to see the child. Oh, we have a son in our life. Oh, that's great. Now, slowly, slowly, the son would grow. He comes to 1 year and then he begins walking. Slowly, 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 he's walking. He's walking in the room, and then they're all watching. Wow, my son is walking. Great. Now he grows. He becomes 2 years, 3 years, and then he's walking around the streets. Oh, first time my son went out in the streets. Oh, it's great. My son is, you know, riding the bike on the street now. Oh, 3 years now. Oh, small bike, whatever it is, Now, slowly, slowly, he's exploring. He's exploring. He now before what happened? He grew, and then he passed urine, stool. Hmm? When he was few days or few months, he did all of that. Huh? On the on within the diaper or whatever it is. Now slowly, slowly he's matured. Now he's going out. Now he's going to the school. Wow. He's going to the school. He's kindergarten, first grade, second grade. He's learning so many things. Oh, he's exploring the world. Now parents are taking him to other cities. They're going to the other cities. Oh, wow, great. He's seeing so many things now. Now he becomes an adult. He goes to the college. He goes to America to study. Wow. Now he explored entire India. Now he's going to America to study. Oh, for doing his masters. Wow, he went to America. Oh, he studied. Now he started seeing white people there. Oh, wow, they're so white. More exploration. And then he gets married. Then his exploration begins more. No, he has more. No, he has a wife. No, he'll have kids. He'll have a home. Now they will grow. They will also get married. Now that person, so now that person is actually completed his exploration. He explored this world fully. No, he said, let's travel. He tells his wife, oh, let's go to honeymoon. Let's go here. Let's go to Europe. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to New Zealand. Oh, exploring. Let's go here. Let's go there. Let's be happy, joyful in this world. He did all that exploration. And then now he has kids. Kids are also grown up. Now he's becoming, oh, you know what happens now? This is interesting thing. I told all of this for this. Now what happens? Now he says, my dear wife, I cannot go there because my body is not accepting. He says, if somebody calls him, oh, okay, can you come to our home? No, he will ask, do you have elevator at your home? Which floor is your home? In India, they say. Now in America, every home has elevator. Which floor? Oh, I cannot climb 2 floors. Arey, you went all of these places. You had so much fun. Now you cannot do that. Why? Why? Because body changed. Arey, you explored all through your age. You went to Australia, New Zealand, Europe, Germany, so many countries. You were happy doing all of that. Now you cannot. No, can't you travel to those places? Can't you enjoy the same thing which you did? No, I cannot go anywhere now. No, his exploration is limited. No, he's limiting himself. He says, I can only go to the Walmart, which is there right next to my home. I cannot travel too much. It's a problem. I have issues. Now, slowly, that thing will also decrease. Now, he says that I cannot come out of this room. There's an attached bathroom. I just go to the bathroom and then I come, I eat, and then I sleep. I cannot do anything else than that. And then slowly, that also will become weak. And then slowly, on the bed, out of so much difficulties, he would leave his body. Who is that he? Which he doesn't know all through his life. Just like he was a child who came on it on day one, he didn't know who he was. When he was leaving the body, he didn't know who he was. Now what happened? The transformation happened from where? From there to here. Dear devotees, it's a problem actually in this world. We are unable to understand. Through the so-called exploration of this world, we are missing our bus. Now, if the from where we began, that is where we end. Initially also the small child was unable to go out because he's not in a position to go. And slowly, he went out, he explored. And then at the moment he's leaving his body, at that moment also, he's unable to understand what is he doing. Because he cannot explore at that moment also. So technically, from the place where we began, we have to come to that place again. Now, all the things which we have done on the Thanksgiving Day, I remember people who come to US for the first time, they're so excited of this Thanksgiving. Oh, let us go to this particular store. It is of half the price. Let us go stand in the line right outside before the store opens. Even if it is snowing, I'll stand. Because that's cold. November month, it's cold. It might not snow, but at some places it snows. But still, I will stand outside because they are giving it for half price. Now, what is he doing? Exploring. What is he doing through this exploration? He's wasting his valuable human form of life. So, these material desires which we have, dear devotees, they are actually an obstruction in sadhaka's life. That's why for sadhus, they are like passing urine and stool. The desires, the material desires of this world. That's why for sadhus, what is that? It is nothing. It is nothing in front of them. Because they know it is only illusion. Because if it is permanent, dear devotees, it is permanent, the exploration should happen continuously. If it is permanent. But it is not permanent. It is state of happiness which is given through temporary. It is a temporary existence which will give futile happiness, which is very limited. And Srila Prabhupada says, see, this is what we began the conversation with. Srila Prabhupada is very clearly reiterating that when Krishna transcends his position, he is not affected. Why? Because he is outside this realm. Just like pure devotees, they are also not impacted because they know what is the futility of this world. Just imagine, we run behind so many things, but that is not the thing which we have to run behind. For example, we are working very high. I see so many people, they do 2 jobs or 3 jobs or work hard. Why? For nothing actually. Just with 50K, we can survive in America. But no, we want 200K. Why? Luxury. More. The more, this is what Atyahara Prayasasa Prajalpaniyamaga. Atyahara Prayasas. We shouldn't go for Atyahara. Oh, if I do this, I'll get little money extra. That is Atyahara. Because that is not required here. What is minimum thing is required. To maintain this body, that should be, that whatever is required, that we should have. But not more. Not more. Anything which we have more, it will keep us in the state of anxiety. We will be in complete anxiety. Do you understand this? Complete anxiety. We cannot understand actually how this would work. We are kept in state of anxiety. Through that anxiety, we remain in that illusory state, and through that illusory state, we cannot submit. Which we see in the heart of Arjuna for a moment. He is a pure devotee. He is an exalted Vaishnava personality. No, he is not impacted to any of these things of this world. Now, this Arjuna is impacted for a bit, and Krishna doesn't like that. Immediately, he gives a solution for that. So, within half an hour, not within half an hour, within few minutes, Arjuna comes out of it. Krishna spoke Gita for half an hour to 1 hour, but within few moments of conversation, Arjuna revived his original state of consciousness, which we see the way how he asks the questions in chapter 2. So, he is transformed now. Just one word, a tap by Krishna. Arjuna, what you're doing is wrong. This is correct. That's it. He accepted because his state of consciousness is like dry grass. What is dry grass? Bhagavatam explains about this. Dry grass is the moment you put some fire, it gets ignited immediately. No, Arjuna is that kind of a person. Our acharyas are that kind of personalities. That's why we should always take their association. The more we aspire for that association, dear devotees, the more you get realizations. The more we will be free from inebrities of this world. Because realization is what? Realization is a conviction in one's heart that this is the only thing. This is the best thing in my life. That is realization. Now, the more we get that, the more we will aspire for that. The more we will do that. This is called as Yatamam Prapadyante Tam Sada Vajamyaham. When we reciprocate something, Krishna will reciprocate. We will see. That's how we will perceive, yes, Krishna is there in my heart. Because, dear devotees, if you go and then find this thing, like you'll go and tell your father, my dear father, I want to do this project, or I want to learn this, I want to study this. Then what father will do? He will see, he will assess. After seeing and after assessing, he will know, okay, this will be helpful for him. Then he grants. Right? Krishna is also like that. You go and request something to the Lord. That request also should be diligent, careful. Mam chayo vibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatitetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. What is that? Pure. He's not asking for himself. Have you seen Prabhupada asking for himself anything? It's interesting actually. Have you seen any pure devotees asking? No. What are they doing? They are actually, in their state of consciousness, they are always trying to please their spiritual master and Krishna. If you see, at every moment, Srila Prabhupada says, You all came because of my spiritual master's mercy. You're all doing this diligently because this is the mercy of my spiritual master. Actually, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master left this world so many years back, but he's still carrying that consciousness. Now, how is that possible? I remember one of my devotee friend, he was telling to me, it's a very interesting, it's an interesting reflection he got. He is very eager to hear. He hears diligently. He's trying to take the process sincerely, go to the heart. He gave me an example, which is, I'll share that example to you guys. He was actually driving from one city. He went to office work. He's a mechanical engineer. He goes to the site, different sites. He completed his work, and then he's coming back to his home. His home is in Pittsburgh. He's driving back home. And it was the weather was not supportive, was not supportive. No problem, Mataji. Thank you, Geeta Mataji, for joining. Hare Krishna. So his weather was not, the weather was not supportive, and then he has seen like few accidents on the road. It was very difficult to drive. It was raining heavily. He could have stopped, but he thought that let's go, and then he was driving. And then there was a point when he was driving. He was turning. He was trying to turn the steering, and he was thinking that he will hit, you know, the block or the wall. Then at that particular moment where he was trying to put the steering back to the control, he said, Prabhu, I chanted mummy, mummy. And he told me the reason why he chanted, why he said Amma, mummy. He said mummy, mummy. He said, my mother is very dear to me. That's why I chanted her name. Then I said, Prabhu, you're very honest. That is natural. Our mother, and father, we are attached to them. That is natural thing. Since childhood, we are there with them. Don't we have a relationship with them? We have. No, it's very sad. These days, relationships are degrading so much through this uh, media and everything. Through this technology, gadgets. So, but he said, my mother, she passed away 10 years back. He did not give the number. He said, my mother passed away. And I was remembering her during this difficult time. I said, Prabhu, then he asked me that question. Is it okay to remember my mother during the difficult time? I was unable to remember Lord, or I was unable, or I was unable to remember our acharyas. But I just remembered my mother. I said, Prabhu, that's very honest disposition of your heart. Because he's sharing his heart. And dear devotees, that is what happened in, because he was thinking he might hit with the biggest accident because he was driving. Never know what's going to happen through accidents in America. We don't know because we drive with a lot of speed. So that is very, very difficult situation in that moment in his life. The situation came to Ajamil. Similar situation. He was about to leave the body. Might not be the exact situation, but similar. Then what did he call? He called Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And whom is he calling? Is he calling the Supreme Lord Narayana? He's calling his son. Because he has relationship with whom? His son. Likewise, this Prabhu has a relationship with whom? His mother. Now we are coming in the association, devotees are telling, oh, you should become a devotee, you should chant Hare Krishna, you should develop a relationship. We are trying, but the relationship is not yet established. Because we know the moment the relationship is established, the perception is different. Now, how we know that the relationship is established? He's not running behind materialistic desires. He doesn't go through sense gratification. He's not running behind money. He's not running behind opposite sex. He's not doing any of these things. Now, then this person, he is the sadhu, right? But that qualities are not yet there, and he didn't come out of. He's not in the platform of Advaita. Advaita Sarvabhutanam Maitreya Karunevacha. These things are not yet established in the heart. No, they all come through the relationship with the root. So do Ajamila didn't receive that. He chanted the names of Narayana, but he chanted honestly. Just like this Prabhu chanted honestly. And then he said, after calling out my mother honestly, steering came to normal. And he drove. And he had no issues after that. Now, what is that lesson teaching? What is the lesson of Ajamila teaching us? To be honest, to be sincere. Do you know what Lord Chaitanya doesn't like? Duplicity. Saying one thing, doing another thing. That Lord Chaitanya doesn't like. On one side, we say you are a great devotee, and in the heart, we are not appreciating him. Externally, we say, oh, oh, Prabhu, you are great. Oh, you do this, you give so great. But internally, you are not happy with that person. This is not dear to Lord Chaitanya. This is not dear to them. So Ajamila, honestly, he chanted Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. Just through that, he is actually calling out his son. But this chant is not with aparadha. This chant is with bhasa, nama bhasa state. That is not Shuddhanam also. But what is that? That is nama bhasa state. Dear devotees, everyone should come to this state for sure. And that happens through association only. There is no way the conditioning will be gone. Conditioning cannot be gone in one's life. Conditioning is gone only through pure association. Srila Prabhupada gave that pure association. Our spiritual master gave us the pure association. This we need to aspire. When we aspire this, dear devotees, our perceptions will be different. Our seeing this world will be different. Then we'll get opportunities to come to the state of pure consciousness. Because that is what we need to aspire for. Because there is nothing else in this world which will give happiness to one's heart. For sure. For sure. Hare Krishna. So, in this particular sloka, I'll tell a couple of things and then we'll conclude. Arjuna very clearly showing us the way with what consciousness we should lead our life. Very clearly. What Arjuna is showing? We are not here. I repeat again. We are not here to gain so many things. His consciousness, he clearly showed his attachments. And then through that attachment, he didn't want to do his duty. He wanted to give up his duty. This happens. This happens in one's life through one's attachment. We sometimes feel that, oh, I shouldn't do this because we have other attachments. Just like if a sadhaka doesn't aspire to do avya the unalloyed pure devotion service, doesn't aspire for that. That aspiration is not coming because of what? Because of other unwanted anarthas. They are pulling. It can be attachment, it can be raga, vita raga, vayakrodha, it can be so many things. These things we need to carve out. That is what acharyas come again and again to give us this. This we need to aspire. Hare Krishna. I want to stop here. Anyone has anything to add? Any comments? Anything to share? Hare Krishna. No one has anything to add, then we will stop the session.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandot Pranam,
Yes,
all
yes,
glories to
Prabhuji.
Srila Prabhupada and Guru
Yes.
Maharaj. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving us this wonderful class and how to understand the position of Arjuna and Krishna. Prabhuji, my question is, why is Krishna taking, being the Supreme Lord, he's taking a position of just a mere driver uh, when, and he is like in just being ordered by his devotee. He is so he is the creator of the entire universe, but he is willing to take such a low position. So is this the mood of Krishna? But we adore and worship Krishna, but looks like, does he really want our adoration and love and surrender when he's trying to be even lower than his devotee? So how can we understand this from him? Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Lord, Supreme Lord is always aspiring for that bhava. He is ready to do anything to establish that relationship. That is the nature of the father. The father can go to any position to please the son. In the material world, it is perverted. But the intention of the father is clear. What? To please his son. Because they give importance to that relationship. Likewise, Krishna, Maya Dakshana Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Even though he is the source of everything, he controls everything. He is all proprietor, all manifesting. He does everything. But still, he wants to serve his devotees. Yes, that is that because he says, I cannot, he tells Brajavasis, the gopis, I cannot repay to your devotion and love towards me. I cannot repay. I cannot repay. This is his mood actually. Just imagine when Lord does something, when a devotee does something to the Lord, he always thinks, how should I reciprocate to my child? In what way should I reciprocate to my child? That is his mood. So through that reciprocation, sometimes he gives difficulties. But do you know what? He thinks 1,000 times before giving the difficulty. That how will my son take this? How will my child take this? And then he gives that. Then he gives that reciprocation. Then he gives that thing. You know, when Krishna gives difficulty, it's like uh, he will uh, he will push us in in a pit, but that pit has all soft cushion. So that way we are not affected through that push. That kind of father he is. And we see through the life of Srila Prabhupada, he explains very nicely. Prabhupada had difficulty in his life. So much difficulty. Everything was lost. Everything was gone. But what he said something profound. He said, "Thank you, Krishna, for giving me this difficulty." Now, how Prabhupada is telling thank you, Krishna? Because Prabhupada sees the presence of the Lord in everything. Because he knows, my father will give, he might give anything, but that is congenial to me. That is dear to me. They have that deep relationship with the Lord. So that was the reason Arjuna served Krishna in so many ways. He pleased Krishna in so many ways. He made Krishna happy in so many ways. Now Krishna is feeling this is the time to reciprocate. He's taking that opportunity to reciprocate, which we see in every pastime of the Lord. When Brijavasis were in a difficult situation, Krishna reciprocated. When Yudhishthira Maharaj was doing Rajaswa Yagya, Krishna came. He washed the feet. He washed every person who came to the Yagya. He washed their feet. Hare Krishna. That same Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's taking that position. Now, for that Krishna, if we surrender, if we come to that state, we know how much happy Krishna will be. Because our surrender is for his happiness. Our surrender is for the happiness of Srila Prabhupada. Because Srila Prabhupada told to surrender, I will surrender. Because Srila Prabhupada told to do this, I will do it. Because I will make him happy. Because I know if he is happy, Krishna is happy. Then through his happiness, we see Krishna's reciprocations. Because we cannot see happiness or reciprocations independent. Now, Arjuna has that relationship. We also have that relationship. We have that relationship through our spiritual masters, through the acharyas. Because we want to serve them. You see the mood of Manjari? She doesn't have a mood to serve Krishna directly. She has a mood to serve other Manjari. Because through that service, Krishna is happy. Because she knows how to make Krishna happy. Krishna will be immensely happy when we serve his devotees. Beautiful. So then, through that consciousness, when we begin aspiring and then trying to serve, then we will understand the heart of the Lord more and more. So that is the conviction of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, my dear Lord. Now I see the naked truth of this world. I'm so happy with this thing which you did in my life. He is actually seeing Krishna personally did that. Dear devotees, Krishna will personally do when we come to the pure platform. Krishna will personally do those things in our life. Hare Krishna. Through his energy also, that is Krishna's presence only. There's no difference. So this we need to aspire. When we aspire this more, when we understand the heart of the Lord more, that's when every line will become a jewel in our heart. Is that okay, Prabhu? I'm sure that's true.
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you so much. And Prabhuji, you are practicing what you're saying also, because just like Krishna was totally totally trying to serve his devotee. I see that when we follow so well, those things manifest in the devotee as well. Because I was in your previous class, you were giving from 5:30 to 6:30, even without breaking your fast of Nirjal. Now you're serving here. So, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. And
Hare Krishna. It is very important actually. This is our life actually. We do not have any other life. Because just imagine, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, who is the source of everything, that person is doing this service, is coming and doing this service. And then Srila Prabhupada, he could have stayed in America, he could have stayed in India, and then he could have said, oh, my dear spiritual master, I tried so much, but nothing worked out. I did my best. Now I'm going back home back. Now I'm just staying here because I'm unable to go. Well, he could have stayed there in India and then he could have went back home back to Godhead, which most of the sadhus would do. Srila Prabhupada is a special sadhu, a special soul, directly descended from the spiritual world. Now he took, just imagine, 2 heart attacks. Still he did it. Gave his life. He invested his life. He invested everything. You see, people, terrorists, don't they invest everything? Yeah, they invest their life also. But that is on a wrong side. If that is possible, if they can do that, why can't we do it? For the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, for the pleasure of our spiritual master, for the pleasure of Krishna. We can do that too. If they, that 9/11 attack, that person knows that he will die. Don't he know? He knows, but he is ready to give that up for his higher cause. That is in ignorance. But this is in transcendence. There's a gulf of difference between doing things in ignorance, doing things in transcendence. Even in ignorance, a person can do. What to speak of in transcendence? What to speak of in goodness? That is our hope actually. We know only Srila Prabhupada's Krishna. We know whatever our spiritual master tells. That's it. We do not know anything else. That's how we should be honest. Honest with our life. My dear Lord, I will just do this for your pleasure. Honest. Through that honesty, we can make progress in Krishna consciousness. And then in this very lifetime, there's a chance of going home back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. They are our life and soul, Prabhu. They are our life. This is relationship. This is what we need to aspire. Relationship with a son, if he has good relationship with the father, he does everything whatever his father says. Because he has that relationship. He will never go away from his father. He will always stay there. His father says, you do this job, he'll do that. I used to see, we came from joint family. I used to see my father listening very diligently to his father. I've seen my other uncles, they were very diligent. They were never disobeying the words of their parents. Now the culture has changed so much. Because now the father is not spending time with the child properly. That's the problem actually. Through that problem, the children are not listening to the parents because they are not spending time. Because they have their iPhones, they have their cell phones to watch. Now they give child also one cell phone and then you just watch. You stay in that room, I'll stay in this room. That's why we have 4 bedrooms. That will not work actually. So, but when one sees that relationship, and when one submits, then he will do this continuously. That is what our acharyas want us to do. Pure devotion. Pure devotion is a goal, nothing else. Because nothing will give satisfaction to the heart. Hare Krishna, for sure. Only pure devotion. Anya vilashita sunyam. Jnana karma adinavritam. There is nothing. Nothing. There is nothing. That is what Srila Prabhupada did. That is what Srila Prabhupada said. That is what his life is. And that is what his followers are also doing. These exalted personalities. That's what they do. And we need to take that kind of association. If you get that kind of association, you should run, you should aspire for that more and more. Hare Krishna. Because through that association only, fire is ignited always. There's always fire. The fire has to be there. Up and until, I remember my spiritual master telling, until all of you guys go to the spiritual world, I will not leave. I will always give you my association. Because I want you to be in the spiritual. Until that point of time, you'll have my association. Then a thought came into my consciousness. Dear spiritual master, if you say that until we go to the spiritual world, you're giving your association means technically even in the spiritual world also we will have your association. That is a relationship. That's why Srila Prabhupada says, I am your eternal well-wisher. Why? Why eternal word is coming? Because they are not dealing with these temporary things of this world. This body is temporary. The senses are temporary. And the happiness which comes through that is temporary. But they're showing us that permanent things. Eternal. Eternal. We should get that kind of association. We should aspire for that more and more. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Anyone would like to add anything? Vamshiras Prabhu, you look happy. Hare Krishna. Nice.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice.
Hare
Thanks.
Krishna. Anyone else? Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji,
Prabhupada.
Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so
Hare
much for
Krishna.
the connected class. As always, we miss you last Saturday, but very nice explanation in simple language, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah.
Vancha kalpatarusha kripa sindhavesa patitanam
Pavane
pavanebhyo.
Bhai Vaishnava Namo Namaha.
Thank you.
Anant Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Namacharya Thakur ki jai.
Jai.
Srimad
Hare
Bhagavad Gita ki jai. His Grace Nila Govinda Das Prabhu ki jai.
Sweet. Yeah.
Jai.
Much. All
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare
Hare Krishna.
Happy
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
today's Bhagavad.
Hari Bol, Hari Krishna.
Happy Dwasi today. Hare
Thank you, Amma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
Shyamara Chikamat ki jai. Thank you.
Krishna. All
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.